All right. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. And being max effort, a lower day. Got to get up early today. I'm up earlier than usual. And I'm up early because, well, I have a consultation I need to do late morning. I have it scheduled for 11:30. I have to have my training done by then, and I'm doing a lot more training volume than normal. So accordingly, guess what? Hey, appreciate it, Peppermint. Thank you for giving a like and for the first comment. For everybody else, when you get here, put a comment. So comment under this video and like it as soon as you get in, even if you're coming in hours later when it's no longer live. It helps get it in the algorithm. Those engagements add up. Appreciate it. So what do we want to get for some conversations here? Sorry, I've been a little slow on the OnlyFans content issues with my photographer, but I've been doing pay-per-view stuff there though. So that's what people may not realize who chime in there. Stuff comes through the pay-per-view, and I have tons of that up. So people who want that, I can always resend it. I did last night when I missed a live. Appreciate it, Peppermint. I saw that. But yeah, the training's going good, but I'm definitely sore today. I did more volume yesterday because I trimmed cardio back to just weekends. Maybe I might do some sled work middle of the week, but I think I just want to do an hour of the rucking Saturday and Sunday each if weather permits, and I'm just going to lift weights through the week. So I wanted to take the volume up more on conjugate, and I bumped that volume yesterday, and I'm feeling it today. Like everything is sore. My pecs, my back, my triceps, all a little bit of DOMS, but no surprise given the volumes I did. Also, I put up that short for you guys on how to fail a squat. And I did that because I've seen on Facebook, actually, I put it up on all my platforms. I saw lots and lots of stuff lately, reels coming up showing women why they need to not wear ponytails because it gets caught when they fail a squat, particularly if they fail the squat incorrectly. I agree they shouldn't have a ponytail, but it's like the people who made the reels didn't correct and show, hey, how do you bail out of a squat? I am not a fan of the Olympic style outside of a rack where you drop it behind you. I will never be a fan of that because it teaches bad habits and it gets people hurt. The only place that is safe to practice that habit is if you happen to train in a gym that is everyone Olympic lifts, so they know what to expect. Otherwise, you're going to injure someone else doing that method. You can still get hurt yourself, by the way, but your likelihood of injuring other people around you is really high. And you should be sued. You should lose your gym membership and be sued if you bail a squat behind you and it hurts somebody in a gym. My opinion. They sue you, you should lose. I would find you guilty of a jury. Because it's irresponsible. We have safety racks for a reason. And so again, that's why I made a video showing how easy it is to dump 500 plus pounds safely in a rack and just climb out from under it like it's nothing. Like you should be able to just go on with your workout just fine afterwards. You shouldn't strain anything, nothing. Yeah. How long do your DOMs? I don't know. No set amount of time. I mean, I've had DOMs that last a day. I've had DOMs that last a week. There is no set average amount of time. It's entirely dependent on tons of factors. And keep in mind, DOMs isn't about your muscles anyways. It's not even your muscle fibers that have the DOMs. So no, it's not indicative that you shouldn't train again. Yeah, those people are jackasses. And I don't care what the traditions are in Olympic or weightlifting gyms because those gyms have their own strange culture and traditions anyways. People forget that, don't they? Like they're really kind of the elitists that have their own weird, strange view on lifting sometimes. Like they don't even, how do I put it? If you try to do some sort of lift for power purposes, that's an Olympic variation, they like freak out on you if it's not textbook perfect and tell you need to hire a coach, an Olympic coach to perfect the form. And it's like, dude, we're doing it for explosiveness, not for technique. But they can't understand that fact. Right? Like it's oblivious to them that anyone would do that for a sport as opposed to weightlifting. It's really a strange elitist idea. Yeah, the kettlebell only crowd. Anyone who does any tool only crowd is an ignoramus. I have a video I made yesterday that won't be up for several weeks where I essentially say anytime I hear anyone say that they only use a certain training modality, as a coach who believes in using all the available tools, the best tools available for any given goal at any given time, I think that they're a complete, absolute moron. So anytime a person tells me I only use barbells, I only use machines, I only use calisthenics, the first thought in my head, and I literally cannot take it out of my head, is that this person is probably borderline mentally handicapped. And they're going to struggle to convince me otherwise. Because it's so irrational to limit yourself to a single training tool that I can't comprehend that someone of average intelligence will draw the conclusion that it's a good idea. So I'm convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that person is stupid from that point forward. That's like a dead indication. Like that is a perfect indication that they are functioning at an extremely low cognitive level. Like they're basically stupid. Because let's be realistic. Getting jacked and strong and fit is actually pretty hard. I think most of us agree with that. If it wasn't hard, then pretty much everybody would look like a serious bodybuilder. Everyone would have ripped abs. Everyone would have big numbers. Everyone would have a great 5K time. Everyone would be in phenomenal shape if it wasn't difficult. Right? I think we all agree. So why do you want to make it harder? No, Marcinio, they're dumb. No, they're stupid. Because how many of those people do train hard? I watch people who do only calisthenics or only kettlebells or only barbells. Some of them train their butts into the ground. No, they're not lazy. They're dumb. It's very, very simple. No, they're not lazy. I've seen plenty of them who train hard. The dogmatic barbell one at least makes the most sense. Like realistically, that one at least has some logic to it. Okay, I can see it, but it's still very limiting. It's very, very limiting. There's no reason to do it. And I'm not saying, and I think the difference is with barbells, you probably realistically can get 90% of the possible results, but you're still going to be leaving something on the table. There's going to be angles and planes, and it's just, why leave tools out? The same barbell guys will be the ones who go, man, my tendons hurt. And I'm like, well, why didn't you do some band work? Because it's not a barbell. Oh, I get this low back fatigue. My low back is weak now. Well, why didn't you do some reverse hypers? Oh, because it's a machine. It's not a barbell. Like, see how dumb that is? Adrian says, morning, coach. Good morning, Adrian. Also, if you guys could click that like button for Daddy, I would appreciate it. Going, there we go. Coming along. That worked pretty well last night. We got the likes up past 20. All right. I wonder why it's so hard to get people to click the like, though. That's been a weird thing for me. Why you will get 30 people who will comment who will not click a like button when you ask them to. It's just very strange. It's the weirdest thing on this platform. Because you don't see it on other platforms. You don't see it on Facebook. It's just YouTube. And it's the live stream specifically. Like people refuse to give back to the content creators they watch for some reason. It's really weird. They're like, I want to make sure I minimize the money you make off this video. All right. Adrian, currently, no. Hey, Adrian, why would you ask that? You could see my food online. I mean, at any given time, if you want to know what my diet looks like, I publish it on social media. So it's all there. I mean, I do eat some Greek yogurt at the moment, but it changes around how much I eat. I probably do more of the Mutopia milk than Greek yogurt, really. I mean, I'm eating some, but maybe half of one of the full fat containers a day. It's okay, Adrian. I'm in a lower carb phase right now, so I am doing some of the whole fat, like Chobani, whole milk Greek yogurt, but I'm eating more meat than anything. Mostly meat and the Mutopia whole milk, which is pretty low carb. I probably go through a whole container of that milk every day, though, 7 days a week. Part of me wants to rotate carbs back in, but I get so bloated when I do. I almost feel like I should do it anyways, though. And just focus on brown rice as a staple calorie. Well, the issue is, I mean, we all have our budgets these days. It's just very cost effective and they taste good, right? It's just a better on my budget. I mean, plus, yeah, the white meat doesn't make sense either. If I'm eating a higher fat diet with lower carbs, I mean, the chicken breast is just protein at that point. But if I'm doing a higher carb approach, I'll probably stick to just breast. But a lot of times, keeping in mind, I'm eating like 3 pounds of those drumsticks every day. Right. So when I'm doing a lower carb approach, I probably average 3 pounds of meat every day of some type on average. And it's just absurdly cost effective to just cook giant piles of drumsticks. But, if I'm going to do, chicken and brown rice, and I'm going to do chicken, I'll occasionally work some leaner beef in there when I do that. Right. So it's all dependent upon, what you're doing with your food budget, with your macros. You're not a sweet tooth guy. Not really. Mm-mm. In fact, I feel horrific when I eat sweets physically. No, I'm a savory guy. It's pizza and stuff all over to eat. What do you mean we just don't eat it? Adrian, why can't you just not eat it? I've never understood this concept of why anybody struggles to eat clean. Just eat clean. Problem solved. Don't eat it. Don't have it in your house. Problem goes away. Like that's beyond my comprehension. And I'm someone who has been over 300 pounds fat. Like to me, it's very, very straightforward. Just don't eat it. Don't buy it. Don't have it in your house. These problems go away completely. They become a non-existent problem. Again, speaking as of someone with a binge eating history who's been over 300 pounds, bottomless pit appetite. If you just eat clean, you don't think about these things. No, you don't, Adrian. You don't like the taste. You desensitize your taste buds to where you can tolerate it. And to where normal foods, to where actual foods are bland because you desensitize your taste buds from eating the junk. You do realize that how food tastes is dependent on what you've been eating for the past 3 to 6 weeks. That determines what everything tastes like that you put in your mouth. what your eating patterns and habits have been. So you do realize if you hadn't desensitized your taste buds, an apple would taste just as sweet as a candy bar, right? You do know that, right? I mean, yeah, you could go cold turkey. You could change the sweeteners. That's not going to resensitize the taste buds, but it will. You could not eat the junk. It's pretty simple. If you cut all of it out for 6 weeks, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Meaning, if you went 6 weeks with no artificial sweeteners or refined sugars and you bit into a candy bar, it would be overwhelming. Like you are going to struggle with the taste when it hits you. It's not going to taste like what you remember it tasting like. It's going to be like 10 times sweeter. Like it will be overwhelming almost because your taste buds will be resensitized. Again, they work on a 21-day cycle, so that's 2 cycles. Just food for thought. So again, in that context, I don't understand why anyone struggles to eat clean. Just eat clean, guys. It's really not difficult at all. People make it hard. They make it hard when it's really super easy. You just simply have to get up and go, I'm going to eat chicken and brown rice. Done. Do you get tempted by the sights and smells? No, not at all. I usually try to grocery shop fasted if possible still. So I'm not hungry. It's not my normal eating window anyways. Now, if I go in there during my eating window, it might be different. But if I go in the morning when I've trained my body to not eat anyways, I don't really notice it. But I also don't go hang out in the bakery. Why are you hanging out in the bakery? I mean, if you're eating clean, what are you doing in the bakery to begin with? It's a serious question. Really? Alan, I do it all the time, dude. I don't believe that everyone is capable of moderation. It's not even a willpower thing. Only like 30% of the population is psychologically wired for moderation. The reason we have an obesity problem. Bart K is an absolute fucking idiot. He makes hate videos on me too, by the way. He talks smack about me. He's a blithering idiot who needs to just basically get off of here. Hey, Rufo, it gets people in here. It's one from a photo shoot I did. I've actually made pretty good money on it on social media, just from the monetization. But it's me laying in bed. You're waking up with Blaha. And I notice I get more engagements on these when I put that up than if I use another thumbnail. Plus, I have an OnlyFans anyway, so Coach, make that money through any means necessary. Monetize everything. That's why I'm sitting here going. All these clowns stand around and say stupid stuff like trolls. Oh, Coach doesn't care about money, dude. I care about money a lot. Just because I put out free content, I run a coaching business and everything I do is monetized. Every single social media I have is monetized. And I got an OnlyFans too because I might as well. I am trying to make as much money as I can in the next few years. Plus, I still got to pay my taxes. He's one of those carnivore weirdos who believes vegetables are bad for you. Peppermint. He's basically believes in red meat only diets and then claims to have a nutritional science background, which is in massive conflict. because everyone I know with an advanced degree in nutrition thinks carnivore is literally insane. Yeah, he's an ass clown. The guy wears a little beret and calls himself like the meat militia. That's where I part with people. I'm very pro meat. I think avoiding vegetables is absolutely stupid. Anyone who tells you not to eat vegetables is a moron and should be ignored. Again, the most anti-science position you can possibly take. We have known forever and ever that vegetables are healthy and they're required for a healthy diet. Like the data supporting this around the world goes back an extremely long time. Like, and no one's getting fat and sick because they're eating broccoli and avocados. Okay, guys. They're getting sick because they're eating refined garbage, butter, oils, refined sugars. Okay. And the fact that these carnivore cows push butter when the research shows butter is horrific for you. It's not just milk. So when it's been stacked side by side against milk doesn't have negative effects. Like whole milk doesn't seem to impact your cholesterol negatively. Butter does. Whole milk doesn't affect your inflammatory markers. Butter does. T-carp, we'll probably see carnivore take a dive. Yeah, once people have more and more health problems accumulate, like keep in mind, Saldino, one of the big promoters of it, had to quit doing it in the middle of his book being published, of all things, because of the health problems he had from it. Baker's going to die. Once Baker dies of cardiovascular disease, which all the signs are there, cardiologists have pointed out with his blood work, he is going to die young. Like they've looked at his blood work he published, and they're like, he's an MD, but he clearly doesn't understand cardiology. It's not his expertise. He is going to die. I've seen cardiologists do write-ups on it on their own websites who have 20 years of cardiology experience. They're like, he's going to die. He's an idiot. Like when they're looking at his blood work. So T-carp, the ironic part is that how many carnivores came from the vegan background. When you look at the number of militant carnivores, how many of them are former vegans? An enormous number. So it's the same mental illness. The mental illness that drove people to veganism drives them to carnivore because they have to have a religious cult and extreme diet to be their entire personality. Yeah. They have to have a religious cult based upon an extreme diet for it to be their identity as a person. And when people had health problems from veganism, I know several who've done it. Like I've seen them on social media. People have, someone on my friends list was a vegan who suffered health problems. The vegan diet hurt her physically, so she became a carnivore. And she's seriously mentally ill. So, and she now promotes carnivore, right? So it's pretty common. That's who helped give the biggest push of the carnivore was vegans who got sick from the vegan diet. And then you've seen it both ways. I've now seen in certain groups I'm in on Facebook, some of the big promoters of vegan were carnivores who started getting sick already from the carnivore diet, and they switched to purely plant-based. Jason, do you think surgeries will always be popular in the world of sports and bodybuilding? Yeah, I think so. And I think now that people are finding the benefits of testosterone, it's only going to get more so. I think, at least in America, just testosterone use itself is going to be more and more accepted, mainstream, and popular. The stigma is already dying out in certain circles. Like when you step away from the goofy fitness world, testosterone is extremely popular. Okay, so if you get into, all right, so let's step away from fitness. You go off the fitness sites and you just talk to regular people. If you get in a circle of men who all make $100,000 a year, who are over the age of 35, Let's say this is where you were hanging at in America. What do you think the view is on testosterone? Going to a T clinic, getting it from your doctor, whatever. Universally accepted as normal. That's been my experience. Only the fitness world has this stigma at this point. Poor people, sports fans, fitness world. That's where your stigma is. You get into reasonably financially successful, middle-aged and up men. Testosterone is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and everybody does it. And if they're not, everyone's like, yeah, dude, you got to get on a little testosterone. Go to your doctor, man. Give you a little pep in your step, a little pick me up. Your business will get better. You make more money. So see it from that perspective. The fitness world is one of the last bastions holding out, and sports fans, people who are obsessive sports fans, particularly poor people. Oh man, we can't have that cheating in sports. Hey, AC, I need you to estimate my body fat. I have body dysmorphia. You see me shirtless all the time. You're going to have to estimate it. I mean, I'm not going to say, I've been told by other coaches where it's at, but every time I jump up and say anything, so until I get a DEXA scan. Shirt size, I wear a size large. I don't know who Tanner Chick is. He can definitely, so T-Carp, I think we're talking about diets here. It can definitely be a proxy for religion and the non-religious. The orthorexic aspects of radical diet attracts the same people who would have followed Manson or Jim. I don't believe orthorexia is a real thing, actually. I hate the concept of orthorexia because we live in a world to where if everyone became orthorexic, all of our health problems would go away. So I don't like the term being used as a disorder or a negative thing. And it's not considered an actual thing. So the psychology world has rejected orthorexia nervosa as a mental illness or an eating disorder, by the way. They've rejected it. It's not in any of the books. For those who are unaware, orthorexia would be a fear of eating junk food. Now, let's step back and assess that. If the entire US population became a severe orthorexic to the point of crippling, like absolute, true, deep, serious psychosis level orthorexic, would our health improve? Dramatically. It would be the best possible scenario for our health in this country. How is this a bad thing? Maybe people should be terrified of eating junk food. Maybe the average American should view refined sugar and oils and butters as poison. Maybe they should literally see them as poison to where they're scared of it, like actual physical scared. Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, wouldn't our problems go away instantaneously? Within a few years, all these problems would be gone. Hey, Alec, are you promoting refined sugar on my channel? Because I will boot your ass the fuck out of here. You might as well just come in and promote crack. I don't believe in eating crap like that, dude. I don't, again, my philosophy. I don't eat crap like that. And I tell you not to eat it. So why are you promoting it? Do you not give a shit about your health? Like, do you want to be diabetic? Do you want to have your foot cut off like Big Mama and Soul Food? Okay, then. AC actually 14 is what a coach friend of mine spit out the other day who does bodybuilding prep. Why are fake natties pretending to so against us when they themselves clearly love it? Because it's good marketing for them. They can create a cult. Hey, Alex. But do you think it is healthy for him to sit around eating refined sugars? And why are you talking about your dad? How big is your dad? So how old is your dad? Your dad my age? And he squat 500. Do you rep 315 on the bench? Okay. And by the way, my issue is not sugar. It's specifically refined fructose. Is having a severe sweet tooth considered eating disorder? No, I don't think that's an eating disorder. I mean, sweets can be somewhat addictive, but you don't have to eat them. That's the point. Misguided orthorexia, I'm using the term as the colloquial term where it's tied to them feeling, oh, well, that's not really orthorexia. That's its own set of issues. Yeah, to where they feel morally superior. That sense of righteous indignation, that's almost a form of narcissism. It's definitely leading into the edge of the dark triad. Occasionally I'll get people who will be like, you act like you're morally superior. I get that sometimes. I'm like, I don't think I'm morally superior. I don't actually think that I am. I try to be a decent person. That's pretty much it. There are definitely people who are better humans than me. No, I'm not, Alec. I've had plenty of psychological diagnosis. You want my actual, real diagnosis of what is psychologically wrong with me? And it makes sense when you look at certain things. I have severe PTSD. Like that is my number one clinical diagnosis. And then I do have a history of chronic depression. So that's why you get those certain little flight or flight responses from me. And the same thing if someone says, you can't just be that way, I'd be like, yeah, I can be that way. That is literally what's going to happen. If I feel threatened in certain ways, yes, I'm the guy who's going to dump 3 magazines. And it is a trauma-based response. It's just the way it's going to be. AC for my childhood abuse. And so people can say whatever, or who's not humored that up. Like haters say that, right? It's in all my files. It's in all my diagnosis that I have severe PTSD as a result of repeated childhood sexual abuse. So that is my official psychological diagnosis in all my medical files. Is 30 good mornings overkill? It's a bit much. Sorry for using the term out of intended definition. Trying to type while talking on the treadmill makes me, yeah, fair enough, dude. AC, I can't take that question seriously. Is Bugenhagen? I just can't, dude. Are you asking me when he started adding other drugs besides steroids? So are we saying steroids are natural? Because he was on steroids before he started YouTube, very clearly. So, hey, AC, I would rather not go into all the details of that. No, Bugenhagen loves the shit out of insulin. Like, that's when he got really big. It's when he started adding insulin in. And yes, I know that specifically from people who knew him and done business with him firsthand. I mean, he's been on steroids over 20 years. That's not in question. Yeah, it's the insulin is when he got a lot bigger. In my understanding from, again, firsthand discussion, Boogs, which has been in one of my podcasts, by the way, Boogs uses enormous amounts of insulin, apparently. Do you think that the chest press is more effective for muscle growth than bench press? No. Thoughts on mass gainers? No. Why are you eating junk food? Eat whole food. Let's talk about the supplement industry creating something that doesn't exist. This is a perfect example of why the supplement industry is just so horrific in terms of scamming people. To sell a mass gainer in America, right? Hey, notice he was always on beer. Sorry, dude. You don't know what you're looking at then. I'm just telling you, you clearly don't have a trained eye. You've bought into way too much fake natty stuff. So, mass gainers, you're going to pay for bagged junk food from a supplement company when you could just go buy junk food at the store. It's just junk food, dude. It's just garbage. Look at the ingredients. Nobody has trouble gaining weight in America with the food we have access to. So then they sell you a supplement to replicate what you could just get from the normal junk food at the store for more money. Damn. Yeah. Again, to sell weight gaining shakes in America. Like, dude, just go to McDonald's. It's not like the McDonald's is less healthy than what's in the weight gain shake. Look at it. I do remember, yeah, dude, the 20 rep good mornings are a lot. They're a lot, but 30 we're getting a little far. 20 is already pushing that envelope on an exercise like that. Hey, Alex, I have to think you're a troll at this point. They put vitamins and minerals. Why do you need to take vitamins? I'm not even pro vitamin supplement for the most part. Just adding a bunch of vitamins to something doesn't make it healthy. Yeah. Hey, man, listening to your thoughts on eating and what you do here, I hope you enjoy your type 2 diabetes later. This is a fitness channel. That's right. Hit that like button for daddy. Technically, milk chocolate has some minerals too, like magnesium, but it doesn't mean it exactly. It's the fact that it's got all the chocolate and sugar in it that's the problem. Milk is great. In the U.S., it's reversed. The poorest are fat and the richest are well built. Yeah. A physique is considered a mark of success in America, right? An impressive physique is considered a status symbol. Being out of shape is considered to be a sign of the mark of poverty. Now let's actually call it like it is in the social stigma. Being obese is considered a mark of stupidity and poverty in America, in our society. And it's only considered acceptable in poor areas, in poorer segments of society. Keep that in mind. I took a weight gainer for a month and only gained 10 pounds of fat. It's extremely unhealthy. Yep. Yeah. Well, see, Alex, this is where we're having a cultural divide then. Hey, AC, the FDA has guidelines on how much tuna can be safely consumed per week. So go check the FDA's website. Yes, that's going to be excessive, which you just listed, but I don't know the exact amounts. Go look it up. You'll have guidelines both for men and separate guidelines for pregnant women. You know? Yeah, because weight gainers are extremely high in calories. People with no knowledge of them just assume they're going to make you put on muscle. I know an idiot that did this, right? Because the supplement industry is selling it. Therefore, it must be to give you muscle, because the supplement industry is all about products that work. They're not just a big scam snake oil industry, right? Man, the marketing on them is amazing, right? And they get all your favorite influencers to sell their stuff. Alex, you need to be, I hate it when people say sugar because it makes it sound like I'm anti-sugar when I'm very specifically against refined sugars. Yes, I would ban sugars personally in the US. I've said this in videos. What am I defining as refined sugar? Sucrose, also known as table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, honey. I guess crystalline fructose too, but it's used less commonly. Yeah, you're talking about sucrose. Yeah, I would outlaw it personally. Our society would be better for it. People say, but you think testosterone should be legal? Yeah, it's not anywhere near as unhealthy. Glad to see you back making conjugate videos. Always enjoyed them quite a bit. Yep, it's gonna be max effort lower day. I haven't even decided what lift I'm gonna do. I don't even know. A good morning or something with a safety bar, maybe. Or I might throw a bar on and throw some chains on it and squat it. Who knows? The beauty of conjugate maxes. The main trick, though, is to not think about them ahead of time. So I get pissed at my conjugate clients when they start asking me the day before, how much weight do you think I'm going to hit on this max tomorrow? Do you piss coach off right there? And they know it pisses me off. I will take that lift away and change lifts on them just for asking the question. Hey, Alec. Yeah, please don't come in here promoting your trash dumpster diet. Thank you. All right. What do you think of the trend about stable machine movements? Is secondary exercises perfectly fine? All right. Louis Simmons, don't write anything down on paper. Well, you should track the maxes, though. If you could ban alcohol in the U.S., but it meant that weed was legal everywhere in the U.S., would you take that deal? 100%. Peppermint, that's an easy one. Weed is objectively less deadly than alcohol. I don't think we can really debate that. Yeah, I agree with Natty's. Those aren't foods. Problem is you can't outlaw alcohol successfully. As much as I wish that we could. You know why? Because you can make it out of everything. The problem is, unlike other things, like you can't make refined sugar from everything. It's very difficult. Alcohol can be made from everything. All of your food sources, everything that we eat as food can be made into alcohol. Potatoes, corn, rice, fruit, all fruits. Every one of those things can be made into alcohol. So alcohol is basically rotten food, no longer. Yeah, it's what's fermented food. I've never really heard of fatalities. The vapes seem to be problematic. There was just a massive fatality accident in I-30. Yep, the driver was drunk. Yep. That's true, Coach. People just make their own like prohibition, and then we also have issues of the lower quality people getting alcohol that created other problems like blindness because they didn't distill it correctly. You know. But here's the other thing I would say. If it was outlawed and then the Surgeon General and the news put out warnings every day saying drinking homemade alcohol might make you blind, do we then feel bad for anyone who did it? You're already drinking a poison, but when it's poorly made, it can cause you to go completely blind for the rest of your life. And they put up warnings every day in the news, and then people do it anyways. It's kind of like, fuck them. I don't know. Maybe that's being mean. And then you show 6 people on every day who went blind from it telling their story. Yeah, I thought it was worth it. And I drink that homemade whiskey and I'm blind now. Yeah, it would probably be better T-cart. That would be natural selection. What do you do? It would definitely be better received in this information age of, yeah, okay, man, people are going blind. It's not worth it. Then it would probably still be dumb teenagers doing it. They would be doing it on dares with each other. We think this one might be poorly made. Man, you're a pussy if you don't drink it. I don't know, but what we really have to have is just a cultural shift in general towards health and fitness. All right. I've seen data that shows that actual nationwide fat shaming would possibly psychologically reduce obesity, that our acceptance of it actually makes it more common. Is bread healthy? Very context dependent, Alex. It's not necessarily unhealthy, but it's very easy to overeat. I generally avoid it unless I want to get fat. But I have a bottomless pit appetite, also based largely on my childhood, genetics, everything. So I eat clean. Bread is generally not in my clean category, but it's not automatically bad. Does that make sense? I think there's a lot of middle ground on that one. The same kids who take random pills hoping it's not fentanyl made over a stove in a double wide, right? Have you ever met someone who could out eat you, coach? Not that I can think of. I totally can eat 5K in one sitting. Osman says, I think your physique looks great, Jason. Thank you, Osman. Yeah, Marcinio, I have no problem eating, especially if it's calorie dense foods. Yeah, easy. Easy. Not even a problem. I don't know what a ventilator is, Alec. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been over 300 pounds. There's a sound. You mean my ceiling fan? You probably hear my ceiling fan going out. I do have the thing set to filter most of it out. Let me double check. That's setting. Yeah, it's filtering it out partially. Like I hear it, but it should be quieter. When I record, it's much quieter than what I hear in the room. Thoughts on Eddie Habu? Ignoramus. He's promoting carnivore. He thinks vegetables are bad for you. That's everything you need to know about him. All right. Also put advertise a gift as long as you're careful, right? You think people should track time without consuming sugars? I don't know about that. I mean, if that's what you need to do to eat clean, then by all means, that could be done. I don't think it needs to be as serious as alcohol. Alcohol is legitimately addictive. All right. You know what, though, guys? It's getting close to time to go do some lifting. I have to do a consultation, one of those paid ones today that I do. It's already scheduled, so I got to get all my leg day done before that. And I'm doing a lot of volume now, so might be time to wind this down so I can go start getting warmed up to train. So I love all you guys and gals. I'm gonna give you guys a bicep shot before we go. Oh, Mount Bicepius. I'll talk to you next time.